Are you tired of Orcish Bowmaster destroying your card advantage engines? Well, in today's video, we're going to be combining Life from the Loam with a 3-mana enchantment. This 3-mana enchantment is Seismic Assault. It is a triple red enchantment that says discard a land and deal 2 damage to any target. And with Life from the Loam being one of the most powerful card advantage spells that doesn't actually draw, picking up 3 lands allows us to have essentially 2 free lightning bolts. And when looking at the rest of this list, we were playing powerful cards like Blood Moon, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and even cool loops like Life from the Loam plus Forgotten Cave and Beseiju Who Endures. So we're going to be taking this sweet looking Gruul Assault Loam list through a League of Modern and seeing if this 3-mana enchantment is actually playable. Match 1, we are on the draw, and our starting hand doesn't have a second land, but we are running 23, so I'm going to keep it. It's a little risky, and it looks like we're up against a Rhinos gamer. Oh no. When it plays out a Misty, we do not find a land, and I'm going to hide what we're on, so let's scoop it up and sadly get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 4 Blood Moons for 2 Engineered Explosives and 2 Void Mirror. Game 2, our starting hand is actually good this time. We will keep. We will lead on turn 1 Forest into a Sprawl, naming red. When it goes turn 1 Island, we top deck a Wrenn, and I think we'll play out our Wrenn here, try and bait out a Force Negation, because I think they do have it. And they do pitching an Ardent Plea, so then we will play out a tap Stomping Ground. When it plays out a Foothills, we draw another land. We will play out our Heath and then play a Fable, and that does end up resolving. And on the end step, they do dismember our token. Ooh, okay. Top deck an Assault. We will loot away our Bolt and a Boseiju, finding land, then we will fetch, shock a Stomping Grounds, and then play out our Seismic Assault, then play out our Foothills, fetch out a Forest, and then cast out our Loam, picking up 3 lands. Combo assembled. In our end step, they do cast out some Rhinos. When it attacks in for 8, we will kill one of their Rhinos, and then we will take 4. We will dredge Loam, flip our Saga, cast out our Loam, picking up 3 lands, kill their Rhino, and then pass back. In our end step, again, they cast out some more Rhinos. So before they do anything else, we will kill another Rhino. An opponent untaps, playing out a Hallowed Fountain into a Shardless Agent, getting some more Rhinos, and they do attack, so we will block, and then we're going to bolt this after the fact. Yep, they trade, I bolt, and now we untap, dredging Loam, cast out our Loam, pick up some lands, kill a Rhino, kill their Shardless Agent, and yeah, we're looking okay as long as they don't find either Endurance or Force Negation. Opponent attacks in for 4, then cast a Stomp, putting us down to 3, and then cast in a Bone Crusher. All right, we're gonna need either a Cycling land or something off of this Life from the Loam, so we'll dredge it. Oh my goodness, an opponent is actually gonna win this game. That is ridiculous. Well, that is unfortunate. We will scoop it up and get on to match number 2. Match 2, we are on the play, and our starting hand looks quite powerful. Lead on turn 1 Sokenzan into a Ragavan. Opponent goes turn 1 Watery Grave into a push on our Ragavan. Ooh, a goofball off the top. So we will fetch out a Forest and then slam our Wrenn and pick up our land. Never mind. All right, looks like we're up against Mill, and opponent plays out a Hedron Crab into a fetch land, milling us for 3. No land, sadly. We find a Ragavan. We find a Ragavan off the top. We will bolt their crab. We will tick up our Ragavan. We will tick up our Wrenn 6, picking up our Stomping Ground. I hate this game. All right. Well, looks like we don't have lands. Opponent does nothing. We will play out our Tarmogoyf, then tick up our Wrenn. And on our end step, they kill it with a Drown. Opponent plays a field. We draw a Wrenn. We will dash out our Ragavan. They have a push. So we will tick up our Wrenn, passing back. Opponent plays out an Otawara. We find a Fable. Guess we will tick up our Wrenn again. Opponent plays out a land. We top deck a Sprawl. I guess we will ult our Wrenn and then play a Sprawl on our Forest, naming red. And they cast a Drown Lock on that. Opponent plays out nothing. We draw a Life from the Loam. We shall tick up with our Wrenn. Opponent plays out a Swamp and we find a land. Let's go. We will play out our Heath, fetch, pick up our Forest, play out a Fable, and then tick up on our Windswept Heath. And on our end step, they do cast an Archive Trap, then field our Sokenzan, and we'll pick up a Mountain. Opponent cast out a Hedron Crab, plays out a Field of Ruin, and then fetches with their Delta, and in response, we will bolt their crab. Thank you, Wrenn 6 ult. We draw a Goyf, we will loot away a Fable and a Wrenn 6, finding a Bolt and a Firelit Thicket. Perfect draw. So we'll play out our Thicket, attack in with our Shaman. Then we shall cast out a Life from the Loam, down tick on the opponent, make 2 red with our Thicket, cast a bolt on the opponent, cast another bolt, and then use our treasure as the last bolt, killing them exactly. What a wild game. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to bring in 3 Endurance, 2 Hearse, and 3 Furies for 4 Seismic Assault, 1 Flame Slash, and 2 Trackers. Game 2, our 7 has an Endurance and some stuff, so we'll keep. All we need is a red source here. Opponent goes turn 1 Island into a Crab. Ooh, we top deck a Fury. We'll play out our Forest and pitch out our Fury, getting rid of our Bolt, killing the Crab. Opponent plays out a Delta. We will shock in our Stomping Ground that we drew, and then play out our Rhinos 6, and we will tick up. And on our end step, they cycle Fractured Sanity. Opponent plays out a field. We top deck a Forgotten Cave. We will tick up on our Wood Foothills, play out that land, cast out our Tarmogoyf, and on our end step, they do take out our Stomping Ground, so we'll pick up a mountain. Then they fire off an Archive Trap, milling us for 13. Opponent casts out a Soul Guide Lantern, so in response, we will evoke out our Fury, and we will shuffle in our yard. And in response, they do Murderous Cut our Tarmogoyf. Oh, and then they cast a Visions of Beyond. That is pretty good. And opponent's Soul Guide Lantern does resolve. Then they play out a Shelldock Isle. We draw a Rhinos 6. We will tick up on our Wood Foothills, cycle our Forgotten Cave, hit our 3rd Rhinos 6, and we shall pass back. Opponent casts out a Hedron Crab into a Delta, and they fetch, milling us for another 3. Oh, and then they play out a Jace, and they minus drawing a card and milling us for 3. We find another land off the top, so we're gonna down tick our Wren, then play out another Wren, down tick it again, killing their Crab, then play out our Foothills, passing back. Opponent plays out another land into a Fractured Sanity, milling over one of our Endurances. Then they minus their Jace, drawing 3, and milling over our last Endurance. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to win this game at this point. We will scoop it up and get on to game number 3. Game 3, our starting hand is a little too weak, so we will mull, and our 6 looks much stronger. We will put back a Wren. We will lead on turn 1 Mountain, and opponent goes turn 1 Island into a Crab. We draw a Loam. We will play out our Thicket and then cast our Wren. Opponent plays out a Delta, milling us for 3. Oh no, they mill an Endurance. Then they fetch a Sprawl is not a bad one. We will tick up our Wren. We will play out our Foothills, fetch a Forest, float a red and a green with our Thicket, play out our Sprawl on our Forest, naming red, and then cast out our Fable. And that does meet a Drown and Lock. Opponent plays out another Crab into a Water Grave. Okay, thankfully they did not mill our last Endurance. Okay, we top deck a Forgotten Cave. We will cycle that. Blood Moon, not bad. We will tick up on our Cave. Then we shall play out our Blood Moon, then play one of our Forgotten Caves, and then cycle the other. Opponent plays out an Island, milling us for 6. Utopia Sprawl is not bad. We will tick up, getting back our Forgotten Cave, cycle it, find another Loam. We'll play out our Forest, cast a Sprawl on our new Forest, naming green, then cast out one of our Loams, picking up a Forgotten Cave and 2 lands, cycle our Forgotten Cave, find another Wren, and then we'll cast another Loam, picking up our Forgotten Cave and 2 other lands. Opponent plays out a Swamp, milling us for 6. Still not milling over our Endurance. No, they cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Okay, we have 8 cards left, but no Endurance. We find a Blood Moon, so we have to ult our Wren, and we can only bolt 5 times right now. So I guess we just play out one of our lands, pass back, and try and win next turn, hoping they don't mill us out this turn. The opponent plays out into Burrow, milling us for a bunch. We have 2 cards left, 1 card left, apologies. Okay, and looks like they're passing back. We'll fire off a bolt, then fire off another bolt, then fire off another bolt, and then fire 1 more off. And we want to keep 1 card in our hand here. Untap, we top deck a bolt. We will cast our Loam from the yard, picking up 3 lands, discarding our Forgotten Cave, and then we will bolt the opponent. And we actually won this game? No way. I am so confused what their hand is. Wow. All right, well, we're on the board. Let's get on to match number 3. Match 3, we're on the draw, and all we need is a green source for this hand to function, so we'll keep. Oh no, are we up against a Tron gamer? Okay, that was a good draw. We will play out Mountain. Oh, opponent plays out a Saga, interesting, into a Star, then they cycle it for a green, casting out a Stearns, revealing a Tower. All right, well, another Mountain is playable, so we will play that. Opponent plays a Tower, passing. Another Wren for us, so we'll play our Sokinzon and play a Blood Moon, and in response, they do make a Construct. Opponent plays a Forest into an O-Stone, attacking in for 2. We top deck a Goyf, we will play play out our Fable. Another tower for the opponent into a 1-ring, and no attack from them. We find a Sprawl, we will loot away that, and a Run in 6. Go to combat, attack in for 2, and before they can go to block, we will bolt their construct, and we will play out our Heath and pass back. Opponent draws 2 with their 1-ring, playing out a mine. Okay, Forgotten Cave, not bad. We flip our Fable, attack in with our Shaman, then we will cycle our Forgotten Cave. We find a Ragavan. All right, well, pass back. And on our end step, they do pop the O-Stone, and I think we're all but dead here. Opponent draws 3 with the 1-ring, then they cast an Ancient Stirrings. They pick up a Chromatic Sphere, play out a map, and now they're assembling Tron, casting out a Karn the Great Creator. They tick up and then play out their sphere. We top deck a Forest. We will dash our Ragavan, attack the opponent for 2, finding a 1-ring, which cannot do anything, and yeah, at this point, we're just too far behind. We will scoop it up and get onto sideboarding. We're going to take out 4 Bolts and a Flame Slash for 2 Force of Vigor, 2 Void Mirror, and an Ancient Grudge. Game 2, our starting hand is very risky here, but I'm going to keep it because it has Void Mirror, and all we need is 1 land to really function. We'll lead on turn 1 Stomping Ground into a Sprawl, naming Red. Oh no, the counter to Void Mirror. Unfortunate. Well, let's dash out our Ragavan that we drew, and we exile a Sylvan Scrying, and we'll pass back. Oh, no land for them though. Okay, well, this is a very strange game so far. We will fetch out a Forest, cast out our Fable, and then cast out our Ragavan. And on our end step, they do dismember our token. No land for the opponent. We shall loot away our land. Ooh, we find a land off the top. Let's attack in with our Ragavan. Ah, yes, more dismembers. Cool. So let's play out our Tracker into a Thicket. Opponent plays out a Power Plant into a Haywire Mite. And before our Fable flips, they do exile it. We shall cast out our Rin, tick up on a fetch land, play that out, cast our Goyf, fetch again, getting another Clue, and attack in for 3. And opponent scoops up. Let's get on to game number 3. Game 3, our hand is decent, but it's a little too slow for my liking, and opponent's on a Mold of 6, so we're going to join them. And our 6 looks much stronger. We will keep putting back our Sokens on. Opponent goes turn 1 Saga into a Sphere. We top deck a Fable. We will play out our Heath. Opponent cycles their Sphere, plays out a Power Plant into a Talisman of Resilience and an Ancient Stirrings. What a turn. And they reveal an Urza's Mine. Ooh, and we do top deck a Sprawl. I think it's still better to Loam here, so we will cast out our Loam, picking up our Heath. Although next turn, this means that we can go Sprawl into a Blood Moon, which is nice. Opponent floats a mana off their Saga, picking up a Haywire Mite, then plays out an Urza's Mine into a 1-ring. Ooh, we top deck a Boseiju. We'll lead on fetching out another Forest, cast out our Sprawl on one of our forests, naming Red, and then we'll cast our Fable. I'm not sure if this is the right call. Opponent draws 2 with the 1-ring, and they do assemble Tron, and then they cast out a Karn the Great Creator, and they downtick for a Sundering Titan, and they cast out an Expedition Map into another Haywire Mite and a Chromatic Sphere, and we'll dredge our Loam, and then we will loot away our Tarmogoyf and a Blood Moon. We'll go to combat, attack the Karn, then we'll play out our Mountain, cast our Seismic Assault, and discard our Foothills to kill their Karn, and then we shall pass back. And this is what we needed. They do sack their Haywire Mite, taking out our Seismic Assault, but that means now we can Boseiju one of their lands and hope that they can't cast a Sundering Titan next turn. Guess one of the Mine or Power Plant, doesn't matter. We'll take out the Mine. They draw 3 with the 1-ring. Please, no Mine. All right, they cycle a mana, and then they pop their map. Okay, that means they don't have a Tron land to play out a Sundering Titan this turn, because they're only going to have 7 mana. They replay their Mine. Okay, they play out a 3/3 Ballista. That is reasonable. Killing our Shaman. And then they play out a Star. We draw another Fable. We will cast out our Loam, picking up 3 lands. We'll play out one of them. That Shock. Then Boseiju another Mine. All right, don't top deck a Mine. They have a lot of looks at it. Yeah, and they do find a Mine. They're going to play out a Sundering Titan, and we are just super dead here. Yep, and we did put up a valiant effort, but opponent's definitely going to get this one, so we'll scoop it up and get on to match number 4. Match 4, we are on the play, and our starting hand looks pretty strong. We'll lead on turn 1, Fetch Shock into a Ragavan. Oh no, the biggest roadblock. This hand is so awkward. Okay, I guess we're sprawling and naming green and passing back. They shock in a tomb and attack in for 1 into a Wall of Roots and another Yawgmoth. And Run in 6 is not a bad draw. We will play that out, tick up on our Bloodstained Mire, and I guess Fetch Shock and play a Sprawl on our other one, naming Red. And Yeah, all right. Let's scoop it up. Opponent has a Yawgmoth. We are getting trashed right now. Let's hope their sideboarding's good. We're going to bring in 3 Fury and 2 Hearse for a Tireless Tracker, a Seismic Assault, and 3 Ragavans. Game 2, our hand has no land, so we got a mole. And yeah, this hand's fine. We'll put back a redundant Blood Moon. And we'll lay down turn 1 Shocking and a Stomping Ground so that we can cycle our cave. When it goes turn 1 Tomb into a halfling, we will cycle our cave, finding a land. Another force for us. We will play one of them out into a Hearse. And opponent goes turn 2 Grist. We are absolutely getting smashed. Okay, we will fetch out a basic mountain and then play our Blood Moon. Opponent plays a forest, ticks up, and then they play out a Yawgmoth into a Soul Cauldron. And then they attack in for 2. Ooh, Fable is a good one. We shall play that out and then play out our Heath. Opponent plays out a Haywire Mite and they sack it, trying to get rid of our unlicensed Hearse. So I guess we try and eat their stuff. And yeah, it's just not happening today, is it? Which means that they can now sack that to get rid of our Blood Moon, and Cauldron says they can use any mana to activate that, so they can do it now if they want. Then they sacrifice their Yawgmoth to kill our Shaman, and they attack us for 4. We draw a Goyf, that's not going to help. We will loot away our land and Goyf, and yeah, we are just 100% dead here. We shall scoop it up and get on to match number 5. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Match 5, we are on the draw, and I think this is the best hand we've had yet. Opponent goes turn 1 Island, we'll lead on turn 1 Mountain. Oh, we're up against Blue Tron. So on the end step, we will cycle our Forgotten Cave. We find a Loam off the top. We'll play out our Boseiju and slam our Rin. Please no counter. Unfortunate. Opponent plays out a Tron land. We do not find a land, so we'll cast out our Loam, picking up our cave, and then play out a cave and pass. Opponent plays out an island into a Wandering. We do find a land, so we will play out our Fable into a Bloodstained Mire. And on our end step, they do draw a card. Or untaps, draws another 2. Then they play out an Expedition map, cracking their map, presumably getting Tron. Yep, and they pick up a mine. And they dismember our Shaman. Wow, into another Wandering. And we do top deck a Seismic Assault. Guess we're looting away a Fable and a Goyf. We will dredge Loam once. We find another Goyf. So let's fire off our Loam. Then play out one of our Foothills, picking up a Forest. And then play out our Blood Moon. And in response, they draw a card. Plays out a Power Plant into a Talisman of Dominance. We untap, we will dredge our Loam, flip our Fable, play out a land here, cast out a Tarmogoyf, and then pass back. And on our end step, they draw 2 with the Wandering, firing off a Thirst for Knowledge. I actually think we might be able to win this one, surprisingly. And they discard a Mindslaver. That's scary. Opponent plays out another Power Plant into an Ugin. That is fine. Yep, they -3, and we have lethal here. We shall fire off a Bolt. Fire off another Bolt. Then we'll play out a Seismic Assault into a Life from the Loam. Well, first we have to fetch to get 3 lands in the yard. Then we will Loam back 3 lands. And in response, opponent draws 3. Maybe they have Force Negation. That resolves, and now Machine Gun down the opponent. Opponent scoops it up. I did not expect to win that. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 2 Bolts and a Flame Slash for 2 Force of Vigor and an Ancient Grudge. Game 2, our hand is insanely powerful if they don't have a Dismember for Rag. Opponent goes turn 1 Hull into a map. Force of Vigor for us. We will Shotgun our Stomping Ground, play out a Ragavan, and pass. And we draw another Loam. We will attack with our Rag, and they do have a Dismember. So we'll play out our Wooded Foothills. Then we will play out our Foothills, fetching out a mountain, passing. They play out a Manamu, and on the end step, we will fire off our Boseiju, taking out, I guess, the Manamu. Ooh, and you do find a Ragavan off the top. Play out our Forest, cast out our Ragavan, and then cast out our Loam, picking up 2 lands. And they cast an Aether Gust on that, so we'll bottom this. Opponent cracks their map, picking up a tower into another Expedition map. We will go to combat, attacking with the Ragster. Hey, it connects. Wow, and their top card is a Remand. So we will cast our Loam, getting back 2 lands. Then we'll play out our Forest, fire off our Boseiju, taking out their mine. Oh, they pop the map. I just realized I should not Boseiju then. They pick up another mine. Another mine for the opponent. We shall dredge Loam, attack in with our Ragavan. We will play at our Foothills, fetch out a mountain, cast out our Loam, picking up 3 lands. And in response, they cast a Thirst for Knowledge, discarding an Expedition map. Yep, they remand this. That's fine. We will cast it again. And in their draw step, we will activate Boseiju, killing their mine. And in their upkeep, they fire off a Thirst with extra mana, discarding another map. They play at a tower. We will dredge our Loam. Oh, we find another Boseiju. Huge. Attack in with Ragavan. Wow, finding a Condison. So let's fire off our Loam, picking up 2 Boseijus and a Forgotten Cave. And they go to Aether Gust this, so we'll Condison that for X is 2, or I guess 3, and they condescend that back. I guess we'll pay for it. And it doesn't matter what we do because we're gonna fetch here anyways. Pick up our lands, fetch shock, and then we'll wait for their draw step, take out one of the towers, and they don't have a land. Let's go. All right, the Seiju, I guess, Hall. 1 mana instant speed, uncounterable land destructions is pretty sweet. They play out another island into a Karn. Yeah, they do have a crypt, but the damage is basically done at this point. We find a Tarmogoyf. We will cycle Forgotten Cave. Finding a Grudge. We'll attack their Karn with our Ragavan. Play out the Goofball. Play out the Tracker. Play Cave. Get a Clue. Now, they still have lands over there. They play out a One Ring. They tick up on the One Ring. Makes sense. Another Tracker for us. We will attack our Goyf and Ragavan at Karn. And they kill our Ragavan, but Karn falls. We will crack our Clue. We draw a Seismic Assault. This will play out our other Tracker and pass back. They play out a Ginstone Caverns, activate the One Ring. Then they fire off a Thirst for Knowledge. And they discard an Academy and a Power Plant. Goyf off the top. We will go straight to combat, attack with the team. And they repeal our Goyf. All right, I guess we're playing out a Goyf and passing back. Opponent activates One Ring and plays out another one. Then casts out a Talisman. And on their end step, we will Ancient Grudge the Talisman. Rune 6 off the top. Pretty good one. We will play that out. Tick up on our Forgotten Cave. And I actually think it's better to discard this as Seismic Assault, meaning that we have lethal on board and with Rin Ping plus discard Forgotten Cave. And no attacks because they have protection. Oh yeah, plus I forgot they're already at 2. So upkeep, let's just fire off this Seismic Assault. And opponent scoops it up. We actually kind of win. All right, well, this deck was definitely not horrible, but we didn't really do very well. I do think there are some, definite flaws. I mean, obviously Ragavan is less powerful than it's ever been due to Bowmasters, all the removal, and it's just not as good as it used to be. But I was genuinely impressed with Life from the Loam and Run 6 looping lands to discard to Seismic Assault. The biggest problem though is our mana base felt really awkward this entire league. It's hard to be casting a Blood Moon in a deck where you want triple red and you want to sprawl up a forest, so it just felt like a very weird list in the way that the mana is. And there might not even be a better way to build this list, but anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.